If you're scrolling through a dozen digital pianos hoping to find something that feels solid, sounds good, and won't bleed your wallet dry, you're probably already thinking about the hidden costs that don't show up on the spec sheet. Will the keys really react like an acoustic piano when you need that nuance for a late-night practice? Can you actually hear a clear tone in a small apartment without drowning out the neighbor? And most importantly, does the instrument give you enough flexibility to grow from a beginner's twinkle twinkle to a serious repertoire without needing a second upgrade? Those are the questions that keep most buyers up at night, and the ones I tried to answer before hitting record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Kawai CN201 lands in the middle of the market, promising Kawai's signature hammer action in a compact, all-in-one package. That immediately tells you a lot about the target audience, players who want an authentic feel but don't have the space or budget for a full-size console. If you've ever tried a cheap, spring-loaded keyboard and felt the lack of weight under your fingers, you'll recognize the difference the responsive Hammer 3 graded action is meant to make. It's not a full-size, weighted action like a grand piano, but it's a step up from the cheap, semi-weighted keys you see on entry-level models. For a bedroom or a home studio, that's a practical sweet spot. Who should consider the CN201? First, anyone who's already passed the toy keyboard stage and is serious about developing proper finger technique. That includes high school students, adult hobbyists, and even gigging musicians who need a portable, stage-ready instrument. The built-in speakers, tuned to a satin black finish that matches the sleek cabinet, are surprisingly capable for a room-sized space. You can sit at the bench, plug in a pair of headphones, and practice at any hour without disturbing the rest of the house. The 3-pedal system sostenuto, and sustain mirrors an acoustic piano's layout, which is a big win for anyone planning to transition to a real piano later on. On the flip side, if you're looking for a full-blown studio workstation with a massive library of sounds, a built-in recorder, or an advanced sampling engine, the CN201 isn't built for that. It offers 19 sounds, which covers the essentials: acoustic piano, electric piano, strings, organ, and a few synths. That's plenty for practicing standard repertoire or composing simple arrangements, but you'll quickly hit the ceiling if you want a broad palette for production work. Similarly, the speaker system, while adequate for casual play, won't fill a large living room the way a dedicated PA system would. If you regularly perform for small audiences or need a piano that can sit front and center in a rehearsal space, you might want to add external monitors. One of the most practical strengths of the CN201 is its Bluetooth MIDI and audio connectivity. I tested it by pairing the piano with my iPad and a popular piano learning app. The latency was negligible, well under the 10 millisecond threshold that most musicians consider acceptable, so the app's visual cues stayed perfectly in sync with what I was playing. That makes it a solid companion for anyone who follows an online curriculum or wants to record their practice sessions directly to a DAW without a clunky USB cable. The built-in speakers, though modest, are complemented by the Bluetooth audio output, so you can stream your favorite playlists while you play, turning a simple practice routine into a more engaging experience. Another everyday scenario to think about is the piano's footprint. The CN201 measures just under 50 inches wide, which means it fits comfortably against a wall in a standard bedroom. The legs are sturdy enough to handle the weight of the 88-key action, yet the whole unit can be moved with 2 people if you ever need to rearrange your space. The matte satin black finish does a decent job of hiding fingerprints and dust, a small but appreciated detail when you're juggling a busy household with kids or pets. Now, let's talk about a couple of practical weaknesses that only become apparent after a few weeks of use. First, the action, while graded and responsive, still has a slight plastic feel at the very low end of the keys compared to Kawai's flagship models. If you're a pianist who relies heavily on delicate pianissimo passages, you might notice a tiny difference in the resistance. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you're extremely particular about touch. Second, the volume knob on the front panel is a simple rotary control without a visual meter. In a noisy environment, you might have to guess whether you're at a suitable level, which can be a minor annoyance during late-night sessions. Maintenance is another area where the CN201 shines. There are no moving parts that require regular tuning, and the digital nature means you never have to worry about humidity affecting the soundboard. A quick wipe with a dry cloth keeps the black finish looking fresh, and the firmware updates delivered over Wi-Fi have been